Ukraine has struck Russia's largest oil refinery in one of the deepest drone attacks yet, demonstrating a dramatic shift in how this war is being fought. Good morning, and welcome to the Morning Brief. Today is Tuesday, 7th July 2026. I'm Neil, and in the next few minutes, I'll take you from Ireland, across to Britain, and out into the wider world. Everything you need to know before the day begins. World. Our first story comes from Ukraine and Russia. Ukraine has conducted one of its deepest strikes into Russian territory, targeting the country's largest oil refinery with drone attacks. The strike demonstrates Ukraine's expanding capability to disrupt Russian energy infrastructure and military logistics, a turning point in how Kyiv is fighting back against Moscow. For Ireland, this matters because energy security across Europe is interconnected. Disruptions to Russian oil production affect global energy prices and EU fuel costs, impacting Irish households and businesses directly. Ireland also stands with Ukraine through EU solidarity, and these developments shape the continent's energy independence. From the United States and Italy, tensions are rising ahead of a critical NATO summit. US President Trump has made provocative comments toward Italian Prime Minister Meloni on the eve of this alliance gathering. The move highlights fractures within NATO that threaten to undermine the alliance's unity at a moment when Europe needs it most. This matters to Ireland because NATO stability underpins our EU security architecture. Discord among key NATO members affects European defence coordination and could influence Ireland's own security interests and how the EU responds to geopolitical crises on our continent. In Turkey, where NATO is gathering, Ukrainian President Zelensky will press the alliance for more air defence systems. Following intense Russian bombardment, Zelensky is demanding more interceptor missiles and advanced defensive capabilities. It's a critical moment for the alliance to demonstrate commitment to Ukraine's survival. Ireland has supported Ukraine financially and diplomatically through our EU channels. NATO decisions on Ukrainian aid directly affect how quickly this conflict moves toward resolution, and that stability matters enormously for Europe and for us. In Asian markets, China is breaking step with global trends and attracting significant investor interest. The world's second largest economy is charting its own course with independent economic policy, signalling a potential realignment in how international capital flows and where investment goes. Investors are watching closely. For Ireland, this is significant because China is a major trading partner for our pharmaceutical and technology companies. Changes in Chinese market conditions and investor sentiment directly affect how competitive Irish exports are, and where foreign direct investment flows into Ireland. UK. From Westminster, the UK Defence Secretary has quit his cabinet role over a delayed military spending plan. John Healey's resignation signals serious tensions within the government over defence priorities and budgets, a debate that will ripple across NATO and affect how Britain approaches its security strategy in coming years. The Irish connection. UK defence strategy influences the entire European security architecture. Decisions about UK military spending affect NATO, European defence coordination, and cross-border security cooperation with Ireland, particularly important for our shared maritime and air defence interests. In Scotland, the government is considering a moratorium on all new data centres, potentially clashing with UK-wide artificial intelligence and technology strategy. This regional divergence within the UK could reshape how tech infrastructure is distributed across Britain and has implications for investment patterns across the entire island of Ireland. Irish tech companies and our broader digital economy depend on data centre capacity and investment flows in the UK and Ireland together. This Scottish move could affect energy demands, regional competition, and where technology investment goes post-Brexit. From the Treasury Select Committee, a damning report on student loan mis-selling. MPs have concluded that promotional materials comparing student loan repayments to mobile phone costs constituted mis-selling, and the government has a moral obligation to reverse a repayment threshold freeze. Thousands of young people have been misled about their financial obligations. This affects Irish families directly. Irish students studying in England are impacted by UK student loan terms and thresholds. Changes to these policies will influence whether Irish families choose to send their children to British universities or keep them studying at home in Ireland. In the NHS, English consultant doctors have voted for strikes over the next 12 months. The ballot reflects ongoing disputes over pay, working conditions, and the working week. It comes after recent strikes by resident doctors and signals that instability in Britain's health service is far from resolved. NHS strikes affect UK healthcare capacity and create pressure on Irish healthcare systems. They also influence whether Irish healthcare workers choose to stay in Ireland's health service or seek opportunities in Britain, decisions that matter for our own HSE staffing levels. Ireland. And we close at home in Ireland with news from the tech sector. Microsoft, one of Ireland's largest employers with over 3,500 people working across Ireland and Northern Ireland, has announced global redundancies. Irish-based workers will be directly affected by job cuts. This is a significant blow to employment and household budgets across the country. Microsoft is a cornerstone of Ireland's tech economy, and these job losses will be felt in communities where the company operates. A woman has been killed in a fatal stabbing in Portlaoise. Adina Raluca Constantine died following the incident on Church Street in the Midlands. A man in his 70s was arrested at the scene. It's a tragic loss and a reminder of how violent crime, though rare, strikes at the heart of our communities. Fatal violent crime affects not only the family of the victim, but the broader sense of safety in our neighbourhoods. This incident will rightly receive national attention and local support for those affected. In our health service, a mother has launched a High Court challenge after the HSE told her that her 4-year-old autistic son cannot receive required treatment until 2033. 9 years. That's how long families are waiting for essential disability services. The case exposes a critical crisis in how Ireland is caring for our most vulnerable children. This is a systemic failure that demands urgent action. Years-long waiting lists for disability care represent a betrayal of our commitment to children with autism and their families. It's a health crisis hiding in plain sight. Finally, and looking ahead to the next few days, Met Éireann is warning of a prolonged heatwave. Temperatures across Ireland are set to rise above 30 degrees Celsius. It'll be hot, very hot. So take precautions, stay hydrated, and look out for vulnerable neighbours and elderly relatives during the warmest parts of the day. High temperatures affect everything from how we work and travel to pressure on our health services. Keep safe, and remember, extreme heat is a health issue as much as it is weather. And that's the morning brief for today. Whatever the day brings, take it steady. I'm Neil. I'll be back tomorrow morning. Until then, look after yourself.